Sure. Yeah, we're fired up about being at home. 3 weeks on the road is a lot, and so we're excited about it. We finally got into the arena to practice yesterday, and it's good to feel like we're back where we need to be. So three matches this weekend, and I think the team is getting better week by week. Happy with our progress, and we'll continue to improve throughout this season. But I think we've done exactly what we thought we were going to do up to this point. It's been cool to see our younger players step up and find a role for themselves, and then as a team, everybody find those connections, and things are getting smoother and faster the more we are together. So we'll look for more of the same this weekend.
Hi, Caitlin. Ace Garcia, sports reporter with the Daily Torador. So what role do you look to take on this year with such familiarity entering your third year with the team?
This year, I feel like a big goal for me is just to been leading the team. I've been here the longest with Reagan and Emily, so just knowing the systems, like knowing Tony's messages, just those things that the new girls don't know yet, just helping with that, lead everyone there. And then obviously just setting wise, like I want to be on the court and be in that starting spot. So just playing my game and putting my hitters in the best situations.
What things have you done this offseason to help improve your game or even as a leader?
I think a lot was building relationships off the court. So we had 4 transfers come in this spring, and I feel like that group got really close. I think there's 8 or 9 of us. And so that helped a lot make the transition because we had so many new people come in this summer with all the freshmen. So that made that transition a lot smoother, all of us kind of being able to have, like, it was an equal ratio, so kind of take each new player and, like, show them how we do it here.
And how has that adjustment been to pass the ball to new outside hitters or players that have switched positions like Engler?
Yeah, so Reagan's been doing really well now on the outside. She's super athletic, so I feel like off the bat, like, we didn't have to do too much to, like, adjust to that, but just kind of helping her with things like, I don't know, transitioning, like passing to attack. She's been doing well on that, so just finding her in those best situations and then keeping it fast because she's used to that tempo from running middles. So I feel like that's all been things to help her succeed.
And what do you look to accomplish this year?
We, for one, definitely want to go to the tournament. That's been like a big goal. That's been like a goal of mine too since every year that I've been here. So definitely want to do that and hopefully win out the rest of non-conference, and I think we're going to have a good run in the conference too. Just get the games we're supposed to win, and yeah.
Awesome. So, Coach, for you, what is the game plan looking like, and how is it unique to other past game plans?
Well, the emphasis this year has been to get a little bit quicker, and that's proven to be true. We're much faster in pretty much every situation right now, and so we're playing faster, and now it's about connecting and just executing at that speed. So, and that's where things start to, it's some days it's there, sometimes it's a little work in progress, but I don't want to slow us down too much. I think we need to play at the speed we want to play at, and then just get better at it. And that's what we were doing this week in practice. We've done a few things in transition, kind of changed a few things with our middles, let them be a little bit more athletic. And I like the results so far. So, throughout the year, there's going to be a new emphasis every week. I think right now, every time we play somebody, we're seeing something that we know we've got to improve, or something gets exposed. We get into the gym, we train it, and then we see some progress. So I think that'll be pretty much the same formula all year.
And I saw that y'all go against a couple of outstanding hitters, outside hitters. A couple of them have 120 kills on the season. Are there any players that stand out to you, or any teams that stand out to you in this tournament?
Sure. Every team has a go-to, and they're always going to be top of the scouting report, and you got to pay attention to them. And we've already seen that this year. Northern Arizona, Georgia, they had true go-tos, and you got to pay attention. And so whoever we're playing this weekend, they've got their primaries, and when we game plan for them, it'll be what are we going to do to slow them down and force them to go to some different options. And volleyball is a game of who can execute the game plan the best, and so if we can get that done, then the result will be there.
And this question.
Jump back questions for real quick. Alrighty, Caitlin, you've already recorded 95 assists so far this season. What does it mean to you to kind of run this offense?
It's super cool to me. Just being a setter, being a part of every single play. Like, you have to be locked in the whole time, know what's going on, be ahead of the play, like knowing who to go to in certain situations, matchups, stuff like that. So, I mean, it's really fun. You're kind of like the quarterback, and you just get to kind of decide how the game goes in a way.
And then what's your relationship like with Peyton? Are you two working together?
Yeah, we definitely work together. I mean, we've both, we help each other out a lot, going in and out of the games together, just in timeouts, helping each other, what's open, what's working, what's not. Yeah, so we have a really good relationship, and then Brighton also helps us out too in our position group. So I like the three of us.
And then you're back at home. Big 12 is just about to start. How great does it feel to get to be back here at the USA and to be able to start Big 12 play here too?
We're so excited. It's been a long 3 weeks on the road, like just missing classes, traveling all the time. So it's been so nice to be here all week. And then, yeah, like next week too, just getting back in the routine, practicing it on our court, and, yeah, getting ready for the game day vibes here.
Love that. Okay, let me readjust my camera real quick.
We're good for questions on Caitlin?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Coach, this is a unique roster. Can you kind of talk to me about what went into recruiting all these freshmen and focusing on that?
Yeah, we had a couple of decisions to make. Last year's team was much older. We had a lot of grad transfers, a lot of seniors, and we knew we were going to be turning over a lot of the roster naturally. We also started a brand new model with the NCAA, and knowing that we were going to be at an 18-player roster cap, and we carried more than that last year. And so, we had to make some hard decisions on some players and realign our position groups to get the numbers right. And we had a really strong freshman class already committed, and we just wanted to kind of build around that. I wasn't crazy about this trend towards relying on the portal so much, and the core of our program since I've been here has been with homegrown players and 3-4 year players, and then we'll add a transfer here or there to supplement it. But we want players like Casey here. We want players that are Red Raiders for life, and they're the ones that drive the culture and promote what we're doing and bring the new players in and ensure we're going to keep them for a while. And there's nothing wrong with transfers, but to me, our program is about players that we can really dig into and know that they really want to be here for the same reasons. So that freshman group, it was good to begin with, and then it just seemed there was a new roster spot open. We made some changes with last year at the end of the season, heading into this 18-player group, and so it just became a big group. A couple of the transfers we brought in were redshirts freshmen, and so that added to it. But at some point, if you're going to get off of this portal thing and dive into your own players, you got to make a hard break, and that means you got to start with a young group and let them grow together. And so this is the year that we're doing it.
So from that young group, who has really just stepped up so far and is really making an impact?
Yeah, you're going to see a lot of Kenna McKenzie and Callie Rava. Those are the two true freshmen that I think are probably playing the most, and they've got a pretty big role. They're kind of sharing that outside hitter position with Ashlyn Bellamy, opposite of Reagan. And so we're going matchup by matchup, and they each have a little bit different game. And so whichever one we think is going to fit the game plan the best, that's who's in the lineup. And then, Tatum Johnson, she's one of our redshirt freshmen. She's been playing quite a bit as well and really elevated herself into a nice role. So those are probably the three freshmen that are out there the most.
And then when it comes to the older group, who has really stepped up, become a leader, kind of guiding the freshmen?
Yeah, so Casey here is she really has taken on a big leadership role, and it's been great to see her find her voice. Reagan has been on that track for a long time. The older players that we have, Jasmine and Aaliyah and Peyton, they're these steady, quieter players, but lead by example and are always one-on-one to pump somebody up or calm them down. And but if you're talking about a voice in front of the whole group, primarily I'm seeing Casey and Emily and Reagan do that.
And then I asked Caitlin this too. What's it like being back here, back at home? What does that mean to entering Big 12 play?
Yeah, there's so much stability to it, and traveling is fine, and we're used to it. But the schedule changes every day, and you're on somebody else's timeline with their team and their arena, and when you can get on the court and all these things. And so you come home, and there's a lot more consistency to it, and you just feel like you're in a groove, And so you prep a little bit better, and I think it's just it leads to a better outcome.
Walk me through what it's like being at home, like just the preparation in that sense. Is everything a little bit easier, or things flow better?
Yeah, for sure. There's just this. It's one thing when you can practice. We have practice at the same time every day, but we start to travel a lot. Now your lift schedule changes, and you're only here for a couple days, and then you have this travel day when you don't get a full workout in, and so it just changes how you prep and how many reps you can take and how you manage all those things. And so just to be at home gives you an extra day where you don't have to do that travel piece, and we can really use that to watch more film and just feel like we're really ready for it.
So Reagan Engler's already up to 125 kills. Last year she had 63 in total. So what went into that position change, and what did you see?
Yeah, we were in the spring, and the more I watch Reagan play, the more I just thought she looked like an outside hitter, and she's had a nice run as a middle. She was hurt a lot last year, so that's why her numbers were low. She didn't get on the court till we were well into the season. But, we knew we needed another outside hitter, and, Reagan is physical, and she's got a big arm, and when you're a middle, you're used to going fast, and you have really good vision, and it just seemed like it would be a good transition for her. And so we started pushing her that way a little bit toward the end of spring. And then over the summer, her and I talked and just said, yeah, let's just commit to it and see what happens. And she's been all for it. And so, for what she's done, the things that we have not trained really hard with her, and for her to be doing so well with first touch and attacking out of the back row and playing defense and things that she just has not trained before. And even blocking on the left side is so much different than being a middle. So I give her a ton of credit, and the results are been fantastic.
Do you ever look to switch other players to player positions?
I've done it before. It's rare, but yeah, sure. We've put players in different spots. Brooke Canis is a perfect example of that. She played 3 different positions while she was here at Tech, and finally found her true calling as a middle. But her first couple of years here, she was a right side and an outside. And then because of COVID, we needed another middle, and we put her there, and it stuck. And so I did it a couple times at Corpus. We've done it before. It's just rare, but going from middle to the pin is much, much different. So it's been pretty cool to see her do it.
And do you look to give any more freshmen any more minutes in this game? I've seen the last few games, the minutes have kind of gone up a little more.
Yeah, when we get into a weekend like this where we're playing 3 times in 24 hours, this to me is a full roster weekend, and we're going to play as many players as we need to keep our legs fresh and feel like we can still play the speed we want to play, and then look at the matchups as well. So yeah, everybody's available this weekend.
Thank you.
All right. Thank